¿Me gusta?
Sí, sí.
Lisa Lohr is an accomplished photographer, writer, filmmaker, and icon of the 1960s. She is best known for her photographic chronicles of the counterculture of that time. Positive Spin was invited to Lisa Lohr's home in Santa Fe, New Mexico for an intimate interview concerning the key roles she played in the Woodstock Festival. So, could you please tell our audience a little bit about the hog farm, how it was created, what was the purpose of the hog farm?
Well, in 1964, I think it was, Hugh Romney and Bonnie Jean were living in the Valley in LA. And they were renting this house, and the Ken Kesey bus came by, and they were on their way to Mexico to find Ken Kesey. Just at that point, the fellow up the hill who had a hog farm had a heart attack, and he needed help slopping the hogs. So the entire group of them moved up to the top of the hill where all the hogs were, built little shacks and lived in buses and lived there. Saturday, I think they would have an event. One was Tiny Tim singing, and then they had a hog rodeo where you painted the pigs and rode them in the rodeo. So they did that, and all these people would come up. They did these shows. But that's when Stan Goldstein came, asked the whole hog farm if they would come to this musical concert in New York and help out with security. Well, not security at that point, it was trip tents, medical tents. We said yes. They sent a jumbo jet for us. 95 of us got aboard that airplane, including teepee poles and teepees, flew to JFK, where we were met by the press saying, we hear you're security, and Wavy Gravy said, they made us the cops. Okay, well, do you feel secure? They said yes, and he says, well, it must be working. Bought stainless steel bowls, pots, cleavers, onion cutters, 35 trash bag cans, plastic trash cans to mix the food in and to put the cut up food in, because you have to think of being mass production. It wasn't just a barbecue dinner, it was a mass production. And we were feeding 75,000 a day. I got up on the stage and I said, if you're hungry, I said, you can come over to the hog farm and we'll feed you over there. So I got up and said that, but nobody ever filmed it. And they did, they trickled over us. But soon after that, those lines there were 10 lines, people waiting in lines for the food. But it was great to be recognized for having fed 200,000 people. I mean, some people get recognized for a picture or a movie or acting or whatever, right, something they did. But this was being recognized for cooking food, which I thought was fantastic. This is Joe Baez backstage at Woodstock. So that's where we held court and fed everybody and prepared the food and hung out. And then we'd go over to the main stage. But this was more fun for a lot of people. This is the bus we've had since 1967. Bus from that era. And this is actually a 1946 Chevy flatbed that was made into a mobile home, one of the first mobile homes. And an artist did it at Taos, and then he drove around the country for 4 years with his 2 kids and his wife painting. And they said $150, and he said, here you go, and he paid for it, and we had a home.
I'll bet, yeah.
It's got a kitchen in it, it's got oven, icebox, counters, beds, couches. It's fantastic.
You have been a major chronicler since of just the whole, from Bob Dylan to to the Haight-Ashbury to the first human being to Woodstock.
64, 65.
And
Beatles.
That's amazing How did that happen for you? I mean, what was the spark that got you to do that?
My father was a 16 millimeter man. He gave me a brownie and I started documenting my life. And I was taking photography at College of Marin and San Francisco City College. I took 2 courses. But I was already really good at capturing moments. I was not afraid. Just get in there with that camera and shoot it. I'm still not afraid. So my heroes are Bob Dylan, because I was able to get a career from having those great pictures of him, and John Paul DeGioia. So important about Woodstock is that you put all those people together, 400, 500,000, plus I think there's probably 2 million that were on their way. Nobody fought, nobody hurt each other, nobody raped, he got into fights. And Joan Baez said, this is your neighbor to your left and your neighbor to your right. And so that became the Woodstock generation. And that's what we wish the world could be like. It's just wonderful. It's very exciting because that was a great moment in history.